is rock hard, solid ice. Governor John Bel Edwards has declared an emergency for the town of Clayton. When it comes down to crashes, that today is the deadliest. August, the deadliest month. A Union Parish woman is dead after storm swept through last night. Well, they say this isn't an easy fix. As you can see behind me, workers are still working. I have two of those things in my hand right now. One is an ice scraper and one is something you don't see every day. The water pumps here in Tallulah are back working, but the question now is for how long? Look, me and investigative reporter Nick Pick already smashed these critters, and they were, can I say off the chain? I'm gonna say it, they were off the chain. The judge this evening said it all came down to the facts. Gremlin students on high alert after a shooting left one man injured last night. Sweet indeed. Yeah, now I had it on backwards at 5 o'clock. Okay. This is the same area where people are saying that water is starting to get into their homes. Like on Thanksgiving Day, you have two options. Either you eat till you drop or you shop till you drop. I was headed out towards Union Parish in Farmerville when I got stopped by a deputy there telling me not to continue on. And I was like, who are you? Frida Gray came home from a long day's work. And what was waiting for her? A stranger, naked, in her bathtub, eating her food.
She went in my refrigerator and ate my food.
Gray says she saw Evelyn Washington with a whole plate of food and half-eaten Cheeto Puffs, if you were wondering, on the toilet.
She had food, but she had Cheetos poured on top of the food.
The homeowners say Washington went through great lengths to get inside the house. She came to this side window, picked up a paper picker, smashed through the window, and got inside.
I work hard for what I got. Whatever I got, I work hard for, and it's mine.
Neighbors say they think it was Washington who stopped at their house first.
Well, she came up over here, and she just opened the door and came on in. And I asked her what's wrong with her. And so she said she was looking for some guy named Greg.
Just keep your doors locked.
Gray says she was scared, but at least she was nice enough to let Washington put clothes on before she called police, even though she got dressed in Gray's clothes. Gray's husband says he wouldn't have been this nice.
She was real lucky, because imagine if I was here, something would have really bad happened.
They both say they'll never forget the crunching, munching bandit.
It's just crazy, man. It's scary. To come home and someone in your house eating Cheetos.
Hanging out in their tub.
Crazy. Only in Monroe.
We don't allow white people in our meetings on Sundays, but you in our meeting today.
And why is that?
And why is what?
That she wouldn't be allowed.
Because this message is for our people.
The Nation of Islam's Monroe Study Group addressing questions on whether the group is accurately labeled a hate group.
Our work is not a hateful work. Our work is an honorable work. We have an honorable man that we follow, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
According to the Southern Poverty Law Center, the Nation of Islam was given that title because of dangerous rhetoric. That rhetoric is why many people in Monroe say Louis Farrakhan shouldn't have gotten the key to the city. This group of members disagree.
He got up out of his sick bed to talk to me. That's love.
Yes, ma'am.
And to attach hate to him is unacceptable to me.
The group mostly talked about their volunteer work in the community and the respect and love for Farrakhan.
The greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum.
The SPLC says the nation teaches a theology of innate black superiority over whites.
They may be out of office, but they're watching to see if you make a misstep so they can get good out and put evil back.
We heard him attach evil with white people. Is that love?
Well, it depends on where you got that from. That was taken all out of context. I didn't hear anything about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan talk about evil.
The members say they've been fighting against the term hate group for years.
We have a way to defend what you're asking us about, and this is not the forum to talk about that in.
They say it's not personal, just protocol.
It's all about self-help. The Nation of Islam teaches people to take care of themselves first. You can't help somebody else until you help yourself.
Sterling Crutcher is stationed at the Barksdale Air Force Base in Bossier City. Today makes his second year putting on this uniform.
I joined to serve, and I joined because my grandfather inspired me to want to serve for something greater.
Crutcher was born a woman, but has since transitioned into a man. He says he's always defending his identity when it's attacked.
I was born in a time where awareness and speaking out, even though it may not be your cup of tea, is important.
After President Trump put out these tweets saying transgender people will not be allowed or accepted in the military, Crutcher took to Facebook.
There is a lot of support, and that honestly made me feel really good.
Things were looking good for the LGBTQ community. Just last year, the U.S. Department of Defense put out this new policy. It's allowing all transgender people to live openly and serve in the military. Captain Andrew Kulk serves on the same base. Yeah. He says a dose of diversity does the military good.
For the Air Force. The difference of who they are and where they come from actually helps us provide a diversity of thought and diversity of ideas to our mission.
On Twitter, the president says having transgender people in the military will be a burden with a disruption and tremendous medical costs.
I didn't come in saying, well, I'm trans, I'm going to get some free health care.
U.S. Senator Bill Cassidy says any citizen should have the chance to serve if they want. But when it comes to the transgender community, he says enlisting should come with a price.
I don't think the federal taxpayer should be on the hook for transition cost. And if somebody needs surgery and it's going to affect their combat readiness for an extended period of time, that should be known on the front end.
A research organization called the RAND Corporation put out a study that shows every year between 29 and 129 active service members will get transition-related care that could affect their ability to deploy.
When we have deployments here, we have 2 rotations. I can get on one of those rotations and make sure that my transition does not interfere with the military, and it doesn't.
Crutcher says when he puts the final touches on his uniform and walks out the door, nothing stands in the way of protecting America. Gwendolyn Ducre, KNOE 8 News.